Hi, welcome to You Can Do Medicine. My name's Tom and I'm a first year medical student at Edinburgh University. It's good to see you. And so, just going to do a video on the anatomy spot test, spot exam. We've just had it, and challenging. That's the main thing that I took from it. It's the only exam that we have which is for work from both semesters. So there's a lot of content to take in. It's also, for me, it's certainly like learning a completely different language. I mean, it's all in Latin, so it is a different language, but there'll be people that have come from different degrees, different backgrounds, that perhaps do know some of the names. But for me, almost everything that I've learned has been new, and that's been seriously challenging, especially since I'm slightly dyslexic, which doesn't help. And but yeah, the exam as a whole, very different thing to do. You know, you're walking into a room. There's 30 stations. Some of them have pro sections. Some of them, you just have like an iPad and it'll have a picture, a diagram, something, and you've got a question associated with it. And so with us, 30 of us go into the room. We'll all have our one station that we're at, and then bell goes. We've got 1 minute to do that one. Bell goes, need to move to the next one. Not allowed to say anything, not allowed to touch the specimens, and so quite a high pressure environment to do an exam in. Quite easy to get distracted, even though, like, you know, certainly no one in my exam said anything, but you know, just the fact that there's people moving at times, and you've also got no idea how far into the minute you are. There's not a clock there, so some of the questions are quite long, and so it might take me like 20 seconds just to sort of read the question a few times before I've even started to look at the answers. And so I did find that challenging as well. Like with most of our exams, it's multiple choice for the majority, but some of them were written. Thankfully, I would say that the written answers were more straightforward, though I did mess one up pretty badly, as I realised afterwards. But the majority of the written ones I actually found okay. But one thing that I certainly took from it was that with our anatomy that we learn, we have anatomy lectures followed up by anatomy labs. The labs have a practical sheet, and as much as they will say, you know, identify X, Y, Z muscles, there will then be another part to it that will say this muscle, you know, innervates this, or it has this action, or there'll be questions associated with it saying, you know, if this bone was to break, what nerve would be affected, for example. And now, having done the exam, I should have focused far more on those types of questions. The whole thing seemed quite physiology based to me. I was expecting it to be far more, not just name this muscle, but more, what's the blood supply to this compartment, or what's the nerve to here, and these kind of things. There's quite a big focus on the brachial plexus, for example, and I don't think we looked at the brachial plexus at all. Sad face. And yeah, so it was definitely a difficult, challenging exam. Looking back at it, what would I do again? Or what would I do more of? I would study more. That would be the key one. I'd definitely study more. I definitely went into the exam feeling comfortable, felt as though I knew it all. I didn't. There was definitely questions where there's one particular question that I should have known the answer to, and I've got it wrong just because I didn't study that section enough. The other part being more practical with my thinking, you know, thinking about the bigger picture of what happens in that part of the body. You know, the limbs are quite different in comparison to your trunk. You know, your organs are more like system based, whereas your muscles have. There's just different types of questions that are going to be asked on those, and it's being aware of those kind of different questions. Again, looking back at the exam now, I can see them, and I'll certainly be more aware of them in the future. And lastly, there wasn't as many pro sections or cadavers as I expected, and so I think that actually looking at more diagrams would be helpful for me. I was surprised. Maybe there was like between 15 and 20 of them were pro sections. I was expecting it to be more like 27 out of 30. But yeah, that's just the way that it is. As I say, I think it's a pass. So as much as, I'm not going to lie, when I came out of that exam, I felt awful. I thought I'd messed up big time. On my way home, I went to Lidl's. I bought a Swiss roll. I ate the whole thing. It was amazing. But, you know, it was, I felt pretty bad. And it took a while to, you know, analyse it, accept it, you know, move on. I would say it took me like 2 days. I mean, that was on Tuesday, we did that. It's Saturday today. And I only just got around to this and I meant to do the video straight away. So yeah, anatomy, spot test, challenging, know what to do for the next time. Anyway, good to see you. Bye.